What's going on, Red Wing fans? We are back. The Detroit Red Wing season is right around the corner, and as always, before the season starts, there's the Prospects Tournament. However, this year things are a little bit different, as it's not a tournament this year. It's just a 2-game series with the Dallas Stars prospects, and it's taking place in Dallas, well, in Texas. This year, it'll take place in Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas, giving the prospects of Dallas the home ice advantage. But Detroit is sending quite the roster to this prospects game. I keep wanting to say tournament. It's just 2 games, not a tournament. I got to get that in my head. But anyways, Detroit is sending quite the roster to these 2 games in Dallas. But let's take a look at which players are on the team and who might stand out. All right, we're going to start off with the 2025 draft picks here. Leading the way first is obviously first-round pick Carter Bear. Carter Bear was the 13th overall pick in this summer's draft. He has absolutely lit up the WHL with the Everett Silvertips, scoring 40 goals, 42 assists for 82 points in 56 games, and 9 of those goals were game winners. He's got that natural scoring touch that you just can't teach. What makes Bear exciting is that he's not just a pure goal scorer. He's dangerous on special teams. 14 of his goals came on the power play, and he even chipped in a couple shorties. He plays with pace, he's competitive, and he doesn't shy away from physical play, despite being just 179 pounds. Fans should keep an eye on him in these 2 games, because he has potential to be one of Detroit's most dynamic forwards in the future. This will also be the Red Wings fans' first look at Carter Bear, as the 3-on-3 tournament was canceled after the draft during the development camp, as we all remember Chris Draper canceling that. So this will finally be the chance for Red Wing fans to see why Carter Bear was drafted and what he's all about. Next up is goaltender Michael Pradell, a 3rd-round pick. He's a bit of a mystery to Red Wing fans since he hasn't played in North America yet, but he's tall, athletic, who moves well in the crease. Detroit's clearly trying to build up their goaltending pipeline, with Pradell joining guys like Trey Augustine and Sebastian Cossa already in the system. The competition is going to be fierce, and this weekend will be the first real look at him against high-level shooters, and that'll give us a better sense of where he's at development-wise. Then there's Will Murphy, who was picked in the 6th round. He's a bit of a project, and he's got size and tools that Detroit believes he can develop. At this stage, don't expect him to dominate in these 2 games, but you'll want to see flashes of what he can become, whether that's physicality, smart defensive reads, puck movement under pressure, or anything that really raises the eye. And finally, finishing off the 2025 draft, heading to the Prospect Showcase games is Graydon Robertson-Palmer, a 7th-round pick, and these Prospect games are huge for him, for 7th-rounders having to fight to prove that they belong, and this is his chance to stand out. He brings energy, he's a little scrappy, but he'll need to use that motor to make an impression. Now heading into the 2024 draft, we look at one of my favorite names on the roster, Michael Brandsegg-Nygård. Drafted 15th overall in 2024, he's a 6'1" right wing who plays with a real edge. He split time between Swedish Tops League and Grand Rapids last year, and when he came over to North America, he turned some heads, with 3 points in 3 Calder Cup playoff games. He looked right at home playing against men. What's exciting about him is his combination of skill and sandpaper. He's tough, he hits, and he agitates, but he also's got the hands and vision to make plays. Think of him as the type of player who could fit anywhere in a future Red Wings lineup, whether it's scoring in the top 6 or grinding in a checking role. Michael Brandsegg-Nygård will be a promising prospect to watch in these 2 games. Then we've got Ondřej Becher, a 3rd-round pick in 2024. He spent his rookie season with Grand Rapids, putting up 20 points in 59 games. The raw numbers don't jump out, but he was adjusting to a new league, new teammates, and a much faster pace. Becher's known for his high hockey IQ and playmaking ability. He's the kind of guy who sees passing lanes before they open up. For him, these prospect games are a chance to show that he can charge offensively and not just be a depth piece. The 2023 draft is headlined by Nate Danielson and Axel Sandin-Pellikka, but starting off with Nate Danielson, who is already looking like a cornerstone piece for the Detroit Red Wings. He played a full season in Grand Rapids last year with 39 points in 71 games as a rookie center. He plays a responsible 2-way game. He can win faceoffs, kill penalties, and chip in offensively. He's not flashy, but he's reliable, and that's exactly what NHL coaches love. I think Danielson's the kind of prospect who could push for NHL minutes this upcoming season. Then there's Axel Sandin-Pellikka, one of the most exciting young defensemen in the system. Sandin-Pellikka led all U20 skaters in Swedish Hockey League last season with 29 points in 46 games. He's not big at all, standing at just 5'11", but his skating, puck control, and ability to quarterback a power play is what makes him elite. He's already dipped his toes into the AHL with the Griffins last season, and the big question now is how quickly he can adapt to North America full time. Fans are going to love this kid for years to come. Then there's fifth round pick Kevin Bicker. Bicker is an interesting one. He went straight to Germany's top pro league and was named Rookie of the Year. He's a creative forward with a lot of upside, and while he's not as well known as Detroit's top picks, he's a name to watch this weekend. Then in the sixth round, there's goaltender Rudy Guimond, who was simply unbeatable last season. 16 straight wins and 0 losses, and a .940 save percentage, and 3 shutouts in the QMJHL. He basically carried Moncton to their first championship in 15 years. Goalies are tough to project, but when you see the dominance like that, you have to take notice. He's going to be fascinating to watch in Frisco, that's for sure. And then finally, in the 2023 NHL draft, to finish it off, is 7th rounder Emmett Finney. Finney might be Detroit's best late round steal in years. He put up 84 points in 55 games in the WHL, then jumped into the AHL and scored at almost a half a point per game pace as a teenager. 7th rounders aren't normally supposed to do that. He's skilled, he's fast, and he's confident with the puck. Definitely one of the players I'll be watching closely these next 2 games. And finally, the last draft picked prospect that is invited to these next 2 games in Frisco, Texas, is second round pick from the 2021 NHL draft, Shea Buium, who is also will be the oldest on the team at 22 years old. He's already got a full AHL season under his belt, where he posted 25 points in 67 games. He's a big-bodied defenseman with poise, and at this point, the Red Wings are probably looking at him as a call-up option this upcoming season. In this prospect games, I expect him to be the leader on the back end, the guy the younger defenseman can lean on. Now looking at the undrafted and free agents heading into the prospects games in Frisco, Texas, starting off with Alexander Doucette, who was signed out of juniors after tearing it up in the QMJHL, where he posted 31 goals, 31 assists for 62 points, and then he went on to play in the ECHL in the 2023-24 season, playing for the Toledo Walleye, recording 19 goals, 22 assists for 41 points in 52 games, and last season would play in the AHL, recording 7 goals, 14 assists for 21 points in 64 games with the Grand Rapids Griffins. Then up next is Carson Bantle, who was originally drafted in the 5th round, 142 overall, by the Arizona Coyotes. He's a big boy standing at 6'5" and weighing 216 pounds. He's a winger who shoots left, and last season he split time with the Grand Rapids Griffins in the AHL and the Toledo Walleye in the ECHL. In the ECHL, he put up quite a decent season, recording 21 goals, 8 assists for 29 points in 39 games, and through 23 games with the Griffins, he did record 1 goal. And now on the forward group, we'll take a look at the camp invitees, starting off with Liam Kilfoyle, who played last season in the QMJHL with the Halifax Mooseheads. He is a center standing at 5'11", weighing 183 pounds, and he shoots left. And he posted 21 goals, 25 assists for 46 points in 62 games, and added 5 points in 11 playoff games with 3 goals and 2 assists. And then there's Vincent Collard, a center who stands at 6'3", 194 pounds, who shoots right. And last season, he played in the QMJHL as well, and is a teammate to Rudy Guimond on the Moncton Wildcats. In 64 games, he recorded 25 goals, 27 assists for 52 points, and added 13 points in 19 playoff games with 7 goals and 6 assists. And then there's Florent Houle, a right wing, 6 foot, 181 pound forward who shoots right. Last season, he played in the QMJHL for the Sherbrooke Phoenix, recording 11 goals, 23 assists for 34 points in 61 games, and added 2 points in 8 playoff games with 2 assists. And to finish off the forward core is Jakub Richlovsky, a left wing, right wing who's 5'10", 180 pounds who shoots left, and he is signed by the Detroit Red Wings. He's also 24 years old, so I was lying when I said Shea Buium was the oldest. Last season, he played in the AHL with the Grand Rapids Griffins. In 38 games, he posted 8 points with 3 goals and 5 assists. Now taking a look at the defensemen, we start off with Carl Otto Magnusson, a player that stands at 6'7" and is 223 pounds. Last season, he played for Frölunda in the J20, recording 8 points in 44 games with 3 goals and 5 assists, and also had 1 assist in 6 playoff games. But standing at 6'7", another big, tall defenseman, you're definitely going to notice him in these next 2 games. And then there's Jacob Truscott, a former 2020 fifth-round pick of the Vancouver Canucks. He's a defenseman at 6'1", 185 pounds who shoots left. And last season, he played in the NCAA for the University of Michigan as the captain, recording 16 points in 36 games with 3 goals and 13 assists. Then next up here we have defenseman Justice Christensen, who stands at 5'9", 185 pounds, who shoots right. Last season, playing in the WHL for the Prince Albert Raiders, he was also their captain and recorded 46 points in 68 games with 22 goals and 24 assists, and added 3 points in 11 playoff games with 1 goal and 2 assists. And he's also a World Ball Hockey Championship champion. Not a big deal. And then we got Maxime Duracolo, a 6'4" left shot defenseman who weighs 216 pounds, playing last season in the OHL with the Kitchener Rangers, recording 11 points in 65 games with 3 goals and 8 assists. And the last defenseman we take a look at here is Wyatt Kennedy, who's a 6'5" right shot defenseman weighing 201 pounds. Last season playing in the OHL, splitting time with the North Bay Battalion and Windsor Spitfires, playing in 65 total games, scoring 3 goals, adding 17 assists for a total of 20 points, and had 1 assist in 12 playoff games with the Spitfires. And then finally, because I forgot to mention earlier when talking about the goaltenders, is Landon Miller, a 2024 fourth-round pick from the Detroit Red Wings, a 6'5", 203-pound goaltender. Last season in the OHL for the Sioux Greyhounds, played in a total of 37 games with a 13-17-1 record, a .877 save percentage, and a 4.07 goals against average. He went 0-2 in the playoffs with a .796 save percentage and a 5.61 goals against average against the Windsor Spitfires. But that is going to do it for today's video on the Prospects games in Frisco, Texas. If you are excited for the upcoming season, smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't, as this upcoming Detroit Red Wings season is going to be like no other, and I'm excited for what I have in store. This will be the channel for everything Detroit Red Wings every single day. Hope you guys all have a great one. And as always, let's go Red Wings.